and welcome to another episode of the Regulation Podcast. This is number 57, and going by our 2025 nicknames, I am Baby Pepsi. With me, as always, Gassy Goo, Gizmo, the Mechanic, and Lil Ricky B. Hello, everybody. How are we doing?
I made a mistake.
I'm great.
I messed up.
What was your mistake?
What did you do?
Well, I've been having a bit of a cold, right? And then
Yeah.
I haven't been able to use the old PAP because my nose has been running. But then I thought, the sleep I'm getting is just dog shit. Like the other day, I fell asleep at like 6 a.m. because I couldn't sleep all night. So I thought last night, get back on the PAP. And nose, I guess, started running in the night with the PAP pushing all the mucus back into my face, down my throat. And I woke up today with a mouthful of, it kind of looked like the Gumpler. It was like melted Gumpler throat.
You leaf blowered yourself with mucus, essentially.
Yeah, I done the old mucus backwash, back pipe, horrendous.
That's
So
that's rough. Yeah, you don't sound good.
it
You sound like you're
seems to
struggling.
me that the CPAP is at best a dangerous machine to use.
You gotta pick your battles with it.
I would say that Gavin's experience is not the average. I would say. I feel like you have had a lot of problems that at least half of I have not encountered.
It's my first cold with it.
It is a bad combo, the cold and the CPAP, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that how long have you been up for?
Today?
Yeah, today.
20 minutes?
Okay, never mind. That checks. That reads.
Wait, aren't you? I thought you're like an early morning guy, but then you're just all fucked up from this thing.
Yeah, usually I'm up at 7 or 8. That was the end of the sentence.
Yeah, I thought there was the tone in which you delivered that really felt like you're gonna expand.
You ended it up as if there was something to follow. Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to be up at least 30 minutes before any recording going forward.
You want to take 10 minutes to gather yourself, and we'll vamp.
No, I'm around.
I mean, I've experienced what Gavin's gone through, but it's typically if I use the machine without putting water in it. And then there's probably a rough 30 minutes to the start of the day. So you should be almost done.
Oh, maybe I'll settle in the next 10 minutes. That'd be nice.
Can I ask what you did with the Gumpler that was in your mouth when you woke up?
Oh,
Sick.
God.
Okay, I was just checking, man. I just kind of want to see what kind of guy you were.
Well, I went for tissue immediately, and I thought this tissue is not built for this.
It's not. It's always a risky gamble.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I feel bad for you. Have you done like a full nose blow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fired some down the sink.
Fuck. What percentage would you say you're at right now?
Ooh, 70.
Wow. What were you at yesterday when we were in the office?
85.
Yeah, you sounded great from what I could tell, at least comparatively to this.
I felt so much better yesterday because I got good sleep the night before. And then I thought, now's the time to go back on the PAP.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Yeah, so you repapped a little early, you think, maybe?
Yeah, I repapped too early. I'm going to wait probably an extra day next time.
There should be a way to
That's
do a
rough,
reverse
man.
PAP where everything blows out. You somehow have a way to go
Is
up.
that like a stomach pump?
I guess, yeah. I don't know where the point of entrance would be.
I always heard about my friends when I was at school getting a stomach pump because they drank too much. But it always seemed like it was quite traumatic, and I never asked how they actually do it.
Did you say always? Was this a common thing? Kids getting their stomach pumped where you grew up?
Yeah, I grew up in England. Yeah, I had one friend who had like 4 stomach pumps, I think.
What?
That's
He would just get too bevved up. He'd have like a 9th pint, and he'd be like, oh, that was too many.
More than what?
And just walk himself to the emergency room to get pumped?
Yeah, but I just don't know. Is it just a hose down the throat?
I guess if you've done it like
pretty
once
invasive.
and you're okay with it, there's no barrier at that point.
Has anyone here gotten their stomach pumped?
Never.
Never ever.
And I grew up in Alabama where people did dumb shit to themselves and each other all fucking day long.
Right.
And
What?
I knew one girl in high school who got her stomach pumped for taking too many aspirin, I think. But like, that was it.
Oh.
Yeah, like I can't think of anyone that I know that got their stomach pumped other than like Rod Stewart, and
Yes,
like that's
that's
it.
I not only have never had my stomach pumped, it has never crossed my mind that would be a solution to whatever ails me at any point in my life. It has never been a consideration. 4 stomach pumps. Is there like a stomach pump specialist over there for you? Is there like a pumper, you think?
I think it's just like one of the machines they have behind the reception desk. It's like, oh, come on, come around here.
It's like how you can go into the store and get the liquid IV hydration or whatever. You just like, you go, the other stall is stomach pump.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
That was really funny, Eric.
Thanks, man. I felt really good. I felt really good about the Rod Stewart thing.
That was so fucking funny. You had it out. You had it out so much faster than I was just forming the idea, and I started to laugh at
That's not your first thought when you hear stomach pump?
Yeah, it just wasn't that fast on the uptake.
He said stomach pump minutes ago, and I'm like, all right, we gotta walk this road for a little while before I can get this one out.
Jesus Christ.
It's apparently just really common in England, for you drinking too much of anything.
Yeah, my friend Steph, she had a few.
Yeah, well, a pint of what?
Yeah. 9 pints of
Just booze. Well, pints are bigger there, though.
I would like to hear, this would be a perfect toad in the whole situation, because I want somebody from where Gavin's from to just say, no, what are you talking? Like, this is something very specific to Gavin's friend group and is not nearly as wide as he's acting like it is.
Well, can I invite the friends I've not spoken to in 25 years to Toad in the Hole?
I think they
It's
just
your show,
validate your
dude.
point. I mean, you could do whatever you want, but like, as far as somehow changing that narrative, I think like I believe you. It's not that I disagree with what you're saying. It's that I would just love to hear somebody else's perspective, not in your circle, and just to be like, no, that's horrifying.
Yeah, they all said it so casually.
I'd love to hear from the kid who got his stomach pumped 4 times, because in the last 20 years, you figure he's good for another 5 or 6, right?
Yeah.
He was an absolute machine. He could easily put away 8 pints.
It sounds like he couldn't keep them away, though.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was the 9th and 10th that usually did him in. But he would easily be stood there at Waitrose on 7 a.m. stacking the salad, just kind of swaying on 8 pints. And he would somehow manage to be there on time every week.
And he had a punch card for fucking stomach pumping.
I've never
Oh
really
my
thought about
God.
I don't know how any of this works. Like when I imagine someone getting stomach pumped, I imagine that mini game in Mario Party where you got to inflate the giant Bowser balloon. Like that is sort of the visual. I don't know how.
It's just 2 doctors thumping a button.
It's a definite thump situation in my head. There's like maybe one of those, like foot pumps that's mashing their foot over and over again, getting the pump going. I'd love to know who is the first person that required the stomach pump.
Probably someone who got poisoned.
You think so? I guess that would make
Well, I
sense.
mean,
I could see
better
that.
out than in.
The first person to get
Just the idea of being like, oh, you know what we need? Stomach pump for this. Fuck. That's not invented yet.
Well, yeah, but like it's not even crazy, because when you think about like how like where surgeries came from and like all this stuff or whatever, sometimes it's like, wow, how did they even get started with this? This is just something is in there. We have to get it out. Shove a tube down to get it. It was probably like turn them upside down at first, and then they figured out suction. But like that's not probably too far off from like how it started to where it is now. Just technology is doing the pumping instead of a guy on one end siphoning it out like a gas
Oh my
tank.
God.
Would you guys like to guess what year if anybody can guess the year and you're not
Fuck.
cheating, I'll give you a vinyl for the year
1815.
the stomach
Ooh,
pump was invented.
Damn, I was gonna say 1810. God damn.
Ooh.
God
I got
damn it.
I got 1850 from Gavin, 1810 from Eric.
No, mine was 1815.
I'll change.
1815.
I'm gonna change mine to 1799.
Okay, all right, interesting. Nick and Andrew.
Big party year.
1910. I'm going to say 1905.
Gavin was the closest Alexander Monroe, a Scottish physician, invented the stomach pump in 1767.
Wow.
Okay, so
Eric
Gavin
was
wasn't the closest.
Oh, sorry. Eric was the closest. Whoever said, you guys are right neck and neck. You know what? You know what? Closest doesn't get you a vinyl. Only
Yeah,
Zach.
I know.
So
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Nick, did you say 1910?
well, there's the thumbnail for this week.
Visual of a stomach pump, horrifying.
You think the stomach pump didn't exist during Red Dead Redemption 2? What?
Seems recent.
You think the stomach pump didn't exist during Expedition 33?
I hope they didn't keep that thing in the same drawer as the horse inseminator. They
Oh,
look
no.
pretty damn close.
And you know they didn't know about washing shit back then either.
Speaking of old surgery stuff, there is no thing less created for me than the show The Nick. As somebody who struggles with surgery stuff, like that is, I hear it's fantastic. I can never watch it. Impossible.
Dude, I got a worse one for you. My wife watches this show, The Pit. Fuck me. That is the grossest, most gore-filled show I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like Eli Roth directs every episode.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I don't like that. I enjoy, you know what, but that's good TikTok content. I want to see the TikTok of the guy stuck in cement that they can't fix for exactly 45 seconds, and then I'm good. That's all I need.
I've only seen The Pit on TikTok, so it is great TikTok content.
That's fake ER, right? The Pit.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's like the spiritual successor to
Yeah,
ER.
Michael Crichton's estate is furious, but
Not
So
happy.
upset.
yeah, HBO's doing well.
Were you bummed, Andrew, that you didn't come close to passing out in the autopsy simulator video?
I was pretty tingly. Like it wasn't, I didn't have symptoms, but I got enough out of it to not be disappointed. It'd be funnier if it was worse, but like I was happy. Well, happy maybe isn't the right word, but I was glad that.
How much further would you take it, or is that it?
Oh no, I'd love to do it again. We just haven't had time on the schedule. I'd love to do another part. I want to see what's going on there. Ghosts or something? I don't know. You guys couldn't hear the audio when we did it?
Got demonetized there.
I don't care. Whatever. Gotta get those bodies. We gotta open them up.
Yeah.
See what's inside. There's a spirit. Geoff, we played a surgery game and we think there's a ghost. It's tough to read.
I watched probably like 7 or 8 minutes of it, and I was confused because I was bouncing around, and you'd just be like doing a normal autopsy, and then there'd be a cutscene of skulls or something, and then it was weird.
Yeah, it's a game I'm excited to play more of, but surgery stuff. No thank you.
Hey, speaking of games, should we mention that we had a bit of a milestone yesterday? We went into the office, and I know it's so weird, right? Because we record a little bit ahead. So it's been weeks since we have had an office at this point. But in our recording time, it's only been about a week since we did the stream. And so we went in yesterday and we recorded our first gameplay from the computers in the office and fucked it up, but it was fun.
It looked
It was
fun.
fun.
It just didn't sound fun.
We learned some stuff. It's got some audio channels to fix and reroute. But other than that, I think we're in business. Also, we filmed the next part of the Gumpler saga, which I'm really excited about the audience getting to see.
That's one thing I'm enjoying about the new office is that we're already into sagas where it's like, oh, this didn't work. But, we're not done yet.
Let's not spoil too much of the videos here, but
All right.
Yeah. It's we've decided there'll be more Gumpler videos for sure.
I was sad to have missed everything, but I was in the dentist, and it brought me joy while laying in the chair in pain, knowing that you guys were in an office in Austin figuring out how the Gumpler works. I was very happy. That was the one thing I had going for me.
Oh man.
It was sad looking over to the dead eyes of the little robot.
Yeah. He was asleep. How are you doing, Andrew? You were
I feel so
feeling
much
pretty
better.
rough yesterday when we were
Yeah.
talking. What would you say you're like no pain today? You're totally fine?
No pain, totally good. it's funny because when I came back home, I realized just leaving I Came by itself, terrible idea. When I came home, I opened the thing to be like, I wonder if they're still there. What's going on? And you guys were just starting your test. And I really wanted to roll in and just be like, but I was out. I was done. That just took a lot out of me. Did not have the energy for it, but I popped out later.
Like emotionally or physically, did he take a lot of teeth out of you?
Emotionally, and also just like half my face was numb. So just like rolling up and going, really just didn't have it in me in that moment. And plus you guys all had headphones on, and there's nothing I thought would be more disappointing than to go through it and you guys not notice at all. So I was like, it's not worth it. I'll come back later. I'll recover a little bit.
When you texted that you were at the dentist and in pain, I almost cried. I have such dental anxiety that I'm transferring it to other people now. And I felt so, all I could think about last night was you and the dentist. I'm so glad you're feeling better today.
I learned that apparently if you have like a tooth crack, they can't easily detect that via their x-rays. So you got to vocalize it, which I'm glad I did.
Really?
I guess like the perspective in which cracks usually occur and the like angle that they get, like it lines up. So it's hard to tell if there's a crack in it. Like the tooth will visually look fine, but obviously upon inspection.
So you knew it was cracked though?
Yeah, I had a feeling because I had cracked it 2 days before I had an appointment for something else. And I thought, maybe, like I just ate something the wrong way, like I jammed in my gum or something, and then I could feel my tongue, and I was like, I think I split that. That's not great.
Yeah.
So then, I had to go in, and they're like, okay, so we're going to do this. And I had to go, no, 1 second. I think I have a crack. And then they're like, oh, this tooth? And I said, no, that one, that's what I was supposed to come here to work on. And then I said, the one next to it. And they went, oh, this one? And it hurt so goddamn much. They like put their fingers like, They're like, okay, yeah, it's that one. Let's figure this out.
God. How long were you there for?
A little over 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, that felt like about a 2-hour one as you were describing it. That sucks.
Yeah. Oh, the only positive, what's nice about those experiences is I've never had a tooth crack, but not like fully detached from the rest of the tooth. So when they said like, okay, we got to extract this cracked part, I was like, oh boy, that sounds, that could be bad. And they pulled it without me even realizing the process had begun. They like did the numbing stuff, and then they went in, and I was like, okay, I guess they're like kind of gonna size this up. And then they said, okay, so we've extracted the crack part. And I was like, oh, that is great, fantastic. I was kind of worried about that.
Not a lot of resistance there.
Yeah, just instantly gone. It's overall good. Feel a lot better today. Excited to be doing stuff. I was.
I'm glad to hear that.
I missed it.
You sound great today.
I was also happy that Gavin got good kip, which is a word he used. I think it's the first time Gavin's ever said anything to me that I then had to Google to try to figure out what it meant.
Oh, really? Oh, sorry.
Kip is nap, right?
Yeah, it's like sleep.
Kip.
Yeah.
It's like good quality sleep.
It's sleep.
I appreciate
kip.
it. It's a good word.
Got some good kip.
I like kip.
Are you going to start using it?
I think I will. For some reason, in my head, it resonates as like dog food is the imagery I imagine when I hear kip.
like kibble?
Yeah, like kibble, like some dry ass dog food. But I like the term.
Well, that's what my throat feels like.
Dog food.
Dry ass dog food.
Try to get some kip in there.
Oh, Christ.
Kip it out.
I looked at my file from the test yesterday, and I noticed that my audio was there and everyone's audio was in it. And I thought, oh, well, Nick was in a rush when he set up my routing through the Go XLR, all that stuff. And then I listened to someone else's audio and everything was there. And I listened to everyone's audio and everyone's audio was on everyone's file.
Well, I appreciate that, though. We're not losing any audio at that point.
We got so much coverage.
Everyone has everyone's backups.
Yeah. And we established that it was a test, so it's very low stakes blame. But I think Nick really messed it all up.
It sounds like you really want to assign blame.
Ooh, Nick, defend
Gavin kept taking my mouse.
Gavin did keep taking his mouse, which I will say has nothing to do with how we ended up with all the audio on all the tracks, but that is something that did happen.
But I couldn't monitor my audio as a result.
Well,
There we go.
Suck on that, Eric.
That's a great defense there. I thought, Nick, you were just doing the classic routine of you're going to say something I did wrong. I'm going to say something you did wrong. Now we're both equally wrong. But there's there's logic behind what you just did. He couldn't monitor his audio.
Eric ordered 3 mice.
You can only order 3 mice at a time on Amazon, and it goes, hey, you want to order more mice? You actually can't do that. And I think Geoff had the same problem
Xboxes.
with Xboxes. And Xboxes and mice are not the same because one is $30. Give me 10 mice. Who cares?
Oddly, it let me buy 5 capture cards all at once the other day. No problem at all.
How are you going to use those without your mice and your Xboxes?
Could be like a 3 blind mice rule. There's no 4 blind mice.
Okay. So
Can't go above 3.
what the 3 blind mice rule?
Well, they don't got eyes.
Amazon,
They don't know
if
what's
they
going
can't see, if they don't have eyes on what you're using the mice for, they're going to limit you to 3.
When you're starting a business, it's insanely stressful. Feels like you're spinning 16 plates at once, and as you proceed, they only multiply. It's why I'm so thankful for an incredible service like Shopify. Shopify, in my opinion, is the best at what it does, and knowing that we'll have all of the support and tools it provides is the best feeling. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses worldwide, and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. It ranges from giants like Mattel or Gymshark to brands just getting started. So no matter where you are in the evolution of your business, you are covered. With Shopify, you have access to their design studio, providing you with hundreds of ready-to-use templates that build your online store. Shopify is loaded with helpful AI tools, allowing you to accelerate the process of things like product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography. Shopify allows you to easily create email and social media campaigns. Wherever your customers are, it's like you have a full marketing team behind you. And on top of all of that, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. As a business owner who uses Shopify, I don't want to imagine navigating those things without it. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. What I love about Shopify is no matter how big you want to grow, Shopify gives you everything you need to take control and take your business to the next level. Or even if you're happy with the level you're at, it's just a relief as a business owner to know you are in great hands. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/face. Go to shopify.com/face, shopify.com/face.
Well, summer's officially here. You know what that means. More sun, more sunlight, more time to do all the things outside that make summer so special and make living in cold climates during the winter worth it. And the number one thing you don't want to do this summer, spend all day in the kitchen cooking. That's where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well so you can be back on your bicycle or back on your skateboard or back on your jet ski or back on your boat or back playing croquet, or back playing baseball, or back playing soccer, or back playing kickball, or back playing dodgeball, or back playing anything. Get your delicious breakfast, lunches, dinners, and snacks from today's sponsor, Factor. Head over to factormeals.com/regulation50off and use the code regulation50off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's half-price food. This is perfect for your high action, high activity, fun time summer lifestyle. We just talked about it. You're busy out there playing pickleball. You don't need to be in the kitchen. And that's why you want these Factor meals that arrive fresh and ready to eat. And they have 45 weekly menu options, so you can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. I want you to enjoy this summer. So get Factor and get all of the flavor with none of the fuss. Get started at factormeals.com/regulation50off and use code regulation50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code regulation50off at factormeals.com Regulation 50 off for 50% off plus free shipping.
The cool thing about The Office, if we're still talking about it a little bit, is Gavin has done some technical wizardry where our download speed and upload speed is out of control. It's so... We downloaded Grand Theft Auto in like 4 minutes. It took so long to install, but the download was so fast, it was like, it made my head spin.
It was
crazy.
maxed at like 980 down, 980 megs down or so.
It's less to do with anything I did, and just more about the internet that you ordered.
Well, there you go. When I ordered the internet, the guy was like, why do you need this much speed? And I went, oh, we're going to be like doing business out of here or whatever. And he's like, okay, I mean, usually I just tell my customers, you probably don't need this much. And I went, I appreciate it, but we do. So we'll take it.
This guy's never had 4 people downloading GTA all at a gigabit at the same time.
Right. And then he's also never had them all record their audio on one track in one place for a test. But that's neither here nor there.
We were pulling like 4 gigabits just on GTA yesterday.
Gavin says it has nothing to do with him, but the second the internet got installed, he went in, uninstalled the modem and the router that they gave us, put his own in, brought in some sort of a rack system with green and blue lights going that indicate things that I don't understand. That's way more complicated than anything I've ever seen. He's got Ethernet cables running to our... the system where these cables, it's the smallest cable I've ever seen in my entire life. It's thinner than like an iPhone headphone cable. And I don't recognize any of the technology that Gavin used. And there's no way it's not all on Google. Gavin, you did some work there.
Yeah, I did some research. It's actually the same sort of stuff that we had at Rooster Teeth. But it just means that we can remotely fix problems without having to go there.
Also, our internet was never that good at Rooster Teeth, so once again.
Oh, no. It was all like limited, and we're unlimited here at our office.
And now we have a place to put all of our files. So like it makes even less sense for you to have strikes now, right?
Well, I was going to say,
Oh, that's a good point.
that was maybe the best laugh I had yesterday. Unexpected laugh was Gavin in the Slack posted a giant thing about how he optimized uploading. And of all the people to optimize uploading, I thought that was hilarious. That made me really happy. I read this very technical, long thing of like, yeah, now we can upload from home, and it's great. And it's like, okay, we upload it all. Let's just get a basic upload going.
The next phase of it is I'm going to set everyone's capture folder to be like watch folders for the raid, so it just sucks everything onto it without you having to press anything.
Crazy. I am imagining with everybody's track, everyone having everything in every track. I think it's always so cool when somebody deconstructs a song, like a music producer like only plays the drums. That would not translate to what you guys just did. Just listening to like Gavin's track and be like, okay, now let's just zone in on this. Let's see what's going on here.
Isolate Gavin.
Let's isolate this. It really doesn't add anything to that setup. The same way with music. I think that's so cool. Anytime there's isolation of a song, especially with like hip hop, of like learning what the tracks are being pulled from. It's awesome. Doesn't apply to Let's Plays.
There was that documentary series that Rick Rubin did with Paul McCartney, where he isolated tracks and instruments and stuff on Beatles songs, and it was the wildest thing I've ever heard. It was really fascinating. Definitely wouldn't get that from anything we do.
I wonder if you could tell what video game was being played. How long that would... Maybe that's like a competition we could do at some point, where it's games that we've all played and then how long it takes each of us to register what that game is. And if it's accurate.
Or maybe we do like a blind Let's Play someday where it's just audio where we don't say what the game is and the audience has to figure it out. And if they get it right, we'll give them something.
We'll let the audience do the work.
Yeah. But Gavin and I were talking about this recently, of that humans are terrible at recognizing what things sound like based on movies and TV. Like, I feel like I'll see like a horse walking in a show, and then you'll see what they used, and it's like cabbage pushed against the garbage can lid. Like, nothing sounds like it should. Like, the ability to recognize what these things actually are. It'd be fun for us maybe to do that. Maybe do our own sound effect type work.
Our own Foley work.
Our own Foley work. Ooh.
Yeah. Like
Not
we
mad at
each,
that.
I don't know.
I want to see a show where a guy walks out of a saloon and hops onto some cabbage and bangs it.
Well, the sound they use for him hopping on cabbage, actually cactus getting hit by baseball bats. Completely different.
Oh, Christ.
I had a weird thought the other night. But do you think...
In bed?
Yeah, in bed. It was specifically in bed. It was a bed thought. I was thinking, if somebody stole your cheeks while you were sleeping, your butt cheeks, how long do you think it would take for you to know?
Instantly.
Really?
Instantly. You'd roll over onto your butt and it'd be gone.
No.
You'd instantly wake up.
They Indiana Jones it. So they steal your cheeks, put other cheeks in. I don't think I would notice.
Wait, you talking about your face?
No, butt cheeks. Face cheeks
Okay.
I would notice because I see my face regularly. I was thinking about how rarely I look at my butt, and I don't think I notice a feel difference. If somebody like kind of tried to Indiana Jones it, like obviously if it was completely different, then I think I would notice. But if it was relatively the same.
I noticed my butt way before my face. You shitting me?
Really?
Yeah, I sit down more than I look in the mirror.
Yeah, but you've got new butt cheeks. They're just different butt cheeks.
I
can
don't
tell.
think like the butt cheek experience changes all that much.
I think the second I touched my butt, I would know. I would know that wasn't my butt.
Because everyone has different firmness of butt.
How often are you touching your butt?
I mean, I don't know, at least once a day.
I guess, but I feel like there's so much other stuff going on with like a wiping situation.
Like I'm just sitting on my butt right now and I'm aware of my butt and all kinds of stuff about my butt.
But
You
I just
know?
don't think it would be that different.
If I sat anywhere too long and thought about it, I'd be like, well, this seat's uncomfortable. Why does the seat feel weird? It feels different than it did yesterday. And everything's a little different. And then you start touching and you're like, holy shit, this is somebody else's ass.
I know my butt in so many different ways. Like I know its level of cushioning. I know how it clenches. I feel like if I was to like swap butts with Nick, I would be able to know immediately because Nick's someone who does way more exercise.
Interesting.
Yeah. Plus, like the second I took a dump, I'd know. Like if you poop through a different butt, you're going to know. And I spend a lot of time on the toilet doing that, you know?
But the anus would be the same.
Yeah, it would. I don't think it would be as different as you feel.
Yeah, but the vessel's different, man. The thing you're sitting on, there's gonna be subtle differences. The toilet is an exacting and harsh thing to sit on. You're gonna feel the difference immediately.
It would have like a different sleep number.
Yeah, exactly.
You think so?
Your butt would have a different sleep number.
That's the problem. I've never sat with another man's cheeks, but I feel like the experience is probably pretty similar. I don't think there's a wide range of feeling. I think maybe size and shape, there could be a difference. But as far as like sitting, I imagine sitting is kind of a universal feeling. I could be wrong.
But if you swap with someone who had a different sized butt, it would feel different.
I guess.
I also just think that like even the angle of your sit would be different because the butt would be subtly different. You'd feel like you were on the piss all the time. Like everything would just be a little askew, you know? Like it wouldn't quite fit in the same way. Maybe
This is a specific to me issue because I think I would just realize like things would be slightly off, and then I wouldn't really flag it, but I would start adjusting, and then I just have a new way to sit, and I would have gone unnoticed.
So you would just sit differently before you investigated your butt any further and think
Definitely.
maybe I've got a different butt.
Yes. My initial response to a problem typically is let's solve this problem and not necessarily what's the cause of it. I think I'd solve it, then I would move on, and then maybe like a calendar year later somehow go, oh, what happened? When did this happen?
Yeah, you're like a patch the holes kind of guy as opposed to a
Total. Well,
let's figure the source of the problem.
I get, yeah, like as long as this is a scenario in which the problem isn't going to get worse by whatever I'm patching, if it's this doesn't actually solve it, then that'll change my approach to it. But if it's like a thing of discomfort, then yeah, I just adjust. I wouldn't think about it.
If you and I swapped butts, I would be texting you within 20 seconds being like, hey, do you have my butt? And it sounds like you would wait at least a year before saying anything.
I think I'd be like, I don't know, do I?
I guess I do.
I don't notice. Oh, I'm shitting totally differently. This is crazy. I definitely do. Farts would probably sound different. That'd probably be the weirdest thing.
Oh my God, definitely. Definitely.
I guess that would maybe be the giveaway.
I think the reason my farts are so shit is that all of my fart takes place at the anus and none of it takes place in the cheeks.
Mm.
Where I feel like if you've got more fleshy ass, it's also working through the cheeks to give some reverb and some maybe some bass on each fart.
I feel like the sound is diffused through multiple layers of hair with you as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's definitely a muffled effect.
Yeah.
Jeff, imagine how happy you would be if we had like Mr. Potato Head bodies where you just pop things in and out. That you could go out and get an ass just for farting. The optimal fart ass.
Dude, I would like an ass for long bicycle rides. That's the ass I want.
Like what you just propositioned, Andrew, sounds like to me more than anyone else. That would be like Jeff's dream. Is just like, let me pop these ears off, let me get some different eyes going. I'm doing like crazy mouth today. Like I think Jeff would be loving it.
Oh yeah, are you kidding?
I can imagine picking up all Jeff's shit off the floor and putting it on my body and then just being in pain. Just being like, oh, this ropey shit. What's this spine about? Oh, it hurts.
Yeah, it's not good. There's a lot of pain wrapped around this 49-year-old body. Oh, God. Hey, speaking of pain, can I tell you guys a dumb thing I did?
Please.
Yeah.
You guys remember a couple years ago when I was in my smoothie era, I unintentionally created something called the Purple Nightmare. It actually made it into our face cookbook, which is still available to this day digitally on our Patreon. Or for free if you sign up, right? Like I think it's a gimme.
That's right.
If you're a paid member.
Was the Purple Nightmare the one that you spilled everywhere? Was that the initial one or was that a different smoothie?
No, that's the one. It was the smoothie that I was making for Millie that it just fell out of my hands. And when it hit the ground, it exploded. And it was on the ceiling and the walls and behind the curtains and on the other side of like it went outside like a fucking James McAvoy bullet. And it went outside and took a turn and came back and got splattered on the other side of the window somehow. I'm referencing that movie Wanted, obviously. Anyway, I unintentionally for 2025 updated the recipe, and I'm a little bummed about it because it is fucking annoying. The other night I opened my fridge just to get a Diet Verner's soda, and when I shut the fridge, it like pushed back on me for a second, and I heard a crack and a little, and I thought that's weird, and I opened it back up, and I guess what had happened. See, what had happened was somehow a big canister of bacon bits got dislodged from the door.
Wait.
And it fell. You know, like the bacon bits that are hard and crunchy and that are like kind of like an impossible color of red to be real food.
Yes.
Kind of a yeah, bacon bits, right? Thank you, Nick. And it was about 3/4 full. And so it got, when I shut the door, it fell and it landed at just as such that the door cracked it and it exploded. Bacon bits. And it was a nightmare. My entire fridge was instantly covered in bacon bit glitter. It was unbelievably destructive, right? So I open it up and I'm just kind of looking at it and there's bacon bits all over the ground. And I'm just like, oh, I can't fucking believe this. And Millie and her boyfriend and Emily are in the kitchen laughing at me, going like, what happened? And I'm like, I don't know. It was a bacon bit explosion. And so I grab a broom and I start just trying to sweep up the bacon bits off the ground and I put them into a pile. And then I look and I realize they're on every shelf, right? So I just start taking stuff out and putting it on the kitchen counter and cleaning out the shelves. And the worst concentration of bacon bits is obviously at the bottom, right? Because of gravity. So I go to take the bottom, like the veggie crisper out. And in this fucking fridge that I don't own because I rent, it does not come out. It's the only one that doesn't come out. But it's a veggie crisper, right? So it's clear plastic so you can see right through it to the bottom and back of the fridge where all there are is like 1,000 bacon bits. It is hideous and it's disgusting. And I'm like fighting with it and wrestling. And I think like I'll just break it and put a new one in. And like I'm not going to do that. And then Emily or Millie or somebody said, it's too bad you don't have a way to blow it out. And I thought, I do have a way to blow it out. And this is where I made a tactical error. I went into the backyard and I grabbed my leaf blower.
Oh, come on.
It's the first thing I thought of. So I stuck the leaf blower in the bottom of in the corner of the fridge, and I ram jammed it, right?
There's nothing tactical. There's nothing tactical about this.
And it worked too well because I got hit with stinging bacon bits in the face, and I hear Millie coughing in the background going, and I turn around, and Millie and her boyfriend and Emily and the kitchen counter and the rest of the house are now covered in bacon bits. I tattooed the house with bacon bits just from that quick little 2-second pump from the leaf blower. And it didn't entirely get all the bacon bits out of the fridge. I still had about 20 minutes of work there getting the rest of the bacon bits out of the fridge. But now there are just bacon bits all over my house. Like all day long, I step on a bacon bit, or I move a pot and there's bacon bits behind it, or there's a bacon bit on my Xbox controller in the other room. Like, how did that happen? I somehow put I don't know, 100,000 bacon bits into play in my house, the first floor of my house, and realized that may be one of the dumber things I've done in the last decade or so.
I bet taking the bottle and just drop kicking it in the kitchen would have made less mess.
Yeah. I mean, it was a mess that was at least contained to the floor and the fridge until I brought the leaf blower in to the mix.
Why did they suggest a blow instead of a suck?
They did suggest a suck, maybe, or a blow. I don't know. They were just like, it's a way to get, maybe, I don't remember. They might have said but we don't have like a shop vac or anything. And I thought I'd just blow it out the end. So, and it was
He's
just
in the heat of the bee, Gavin. Bee day was occurring and he just had to respond. Yeah. This to me sounds like the greatest thing that's ever happened to Albert. Albert's just going to be walking around that house getting free bacon all day. He's getting his little bits.
Yeah, I assume that anything from like bulldog neck down in the house is clean, but I'm finding bacon bits everywhere, dude. They're like in the cracks of the sofa. It's like they went airborne and just covered the house.
I think of all the bits, of all the meat bits, I think bacon is the best one that could have occurred with. So like you have that going for you.
Bacon bits are so overrated. They sound so much better than they are.
Oh, I disagree.
Yeah,
I disagree as well.
I love bacon. I don't appreciate the bits format for bacon. They just
go
everywhere.
On a baked potato.
They do
contain them.
They go everywhere.
Yeah, they do.
If you sprinkle 100 bits in a sandwich, you're getting like 80 bits in the sandwich.
Why are you putting bits in a sandwich?
Why would you put bacon bits on a sandwich, you lunatic? They're for salad and baked potatoes.
I'm trying to think of where I've had bacon bits before.
I was coming in to agree with Gavin, then he said that, and now I don't really feel like agreeing with Gavin.
So wait, they're never used in sandwiches?
No.
What? No, bacon is used in sandwiches.
I swear that's where I've seen them. Oh.
What? How would you eat?
That's bacon.
It'd be like a salad or like on mashed potatoes or something. Like you would throw them on stuff where they would like hang out.
I'm just imagining somebody pouring bacon bits onto into a sandwich that they're making, and there's nothing I think more psychotic you could do in the sandwich making realm. Just covering it in bits.
I swear I've had that at a restaurant. I much prefer a full slice of bacon. I'm a big bacon butty guy.
Yeah. I think that was just a shit restaurant. I don't think you could blame the bits on that. I think that's user error.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's on you.
Maybe we should all make salads around Geoff's fridge, and then he should blast the bits out into the room and see who gets the most bits.
Okay, well, we have an office for that now.
I was about to say, I don't want to do this because it's not at Jeff's house anymore. It's at our office.
I don't know. I feel like maybe we need Geoff's crisper specifically for the
okay.
aerodynamicness.
I agree with Gavin again.
I do like the idea of inventing a tool to I don't know, improve bacon bit distribution, like a bacon blaster.
Oh, bacon bit blaster?
Bacon bit blaster that we could blast onto our salads and our baked potatoes and stuff. Like maybe we could get into the lab and invent whatever that is.
You know those salt guns that like...
Yeah, bug assault.
Yeah. I wonder if we made bacon bits small enough, we could do that and then put bacon bits inside of the bug assault gun.
Then
Something's going to get real gummed up. We should definitely do this.
Yes, we got to do this.
Okay. Jeff, do you want me to put it on the idea thing or you want to?
No, if you wouldn't mind, thank you.
Yeah. I could put I'm just going to bacon bits bug assault and we got it.
Can I also try and make my own bacon blaster?
Absolutely. Gavin,
Yeah.
I would be offended if you didn't.
I think mine's gonna involve a paintball gun and a very sharp
I can't wait.
grid of wire at the end.
You need a sharp grid of wire.
Like in the Resident Evil movie? With the-
Yeah. It's gonna like Colin Salmon the bacon.
Oh, I was thinking like bacon retrieval. Like you blast the bacon out and then you could pull it back in somehow. And then you fire again.
You know, we can make that grid pretty easily.
Pull the bacon back in.
I thought it was like the wire was connected to the bit. And so you shoot the bit and then you retract the wire back to the gun. So you have an
What,
infinite
so it's just for like
blast.
luring people?
Like a
People trying to
taser?
chase a piece of bacon.
Tricking men and dogs.
The women are fine though. They'll ignore
Yeah.
the bacon.
Yeah, they know it's a trick. They know it's a trick. They're smarter than that.
Women don't fall for bacon.
Oh man, it's too bad that Doom just came out because this is you send them an idea. They have the BFG, now they got the BBB.
Yeah, we'll get a mod going for the new Doom to put the bacon bit blaster in it, but then also we need someone to mod all the MILFs into Last of
Yeah.
Us 2.
We already have 2 mods.
Who knew that in 2025 regulation was going to need a professional modder on staff?
Can you imagine you're sitting at like a fancy-ish kind of restaurant, you order a dish, it has a baked potato, and then they say, would you like bacon bits on it? You say yes, and they pull out a gun and just start blasting your potato. Chunks of potato
goes,
flying everywhere. Oh,
Grabs
and
a
then-
shotgun with one hand, fucking cocked and locked.
How many blasts would you like, madam? I'll take 2 blasts, please.
Load me up 6-shooter. Let's go.
Maybe? I think a potato is a great example of the bits. There's no way all of the bits are staying on the spud.
Well, they go in, man. You open
yeah,
the.
you put you.
create
I know
like
he
a
doesn't
little
understand
bowl out of
bacon
the
bits
baked
at all.
potato. You ever had a baked potato before?
Yeah, but there's no. Do you think? Okay, so if I gave you a baked potato, jacket potato,
Yeah.
and I said put 100 bits on that, you would get all of them just to stay on the potato.
I don't know if I'd use 100 bits.
I mean, I'd probably get like 90 of them in there.
yeah, you. For me,
Cut open the baked potato, mush it around a little bit, throw some butter
Exactly.
in there,
I was
sour
about to
cream if
say.
you're fucking weird. I'm not. Throw some chives in and then dump in the bacon bits, and they're in the potato bowl that you've created.
I would even sometimes mix with the bits already in. So you put the bits in and then you start mixing it all around because it's
There you go. Yeah.
massage it in.
Is there a way we can change our Twitch bits icon to bacon?
I don't know.
Bits? I don't think we can. It would just have to be our currency, like our
can't be
regulation
bacon bits.
points. I don't think we can do. We can call them bacon bits.
Why don't we just start calling them bacon bits?
Yeah, I mean, I got no problem with that.
This conversation has led to me thinking about a novelty restaurant that shoots everything with weapons at you, but doesn't advertise they do that at all. So like the premise of like, you want bacon bits?
That is the scariest restaurant. Oh my God.
Do you want, someone orders a salad, do you want cracked pepper on this? And it's like, yeah, sure. They pull out like a chain gun to crack it and just unload on the salad. Just everything is shot at the food. Oh, that'd be great. What a terrible idea.
Oh, food guns.
Condiments just bouncing off your plate like a super soaker.
It would be cool if there was a restaurant that had just like a constant. Like imagine a ketchup gun and it would just shoot ketchup across the restaurant into like a catchment bucket. And if you wanted ketchup, you just had to lift your food up and take one of the ketchup hits.
Oh.
Isn't that like when you put your hand, there's like some restaurant where you like put your hand up and like they throw rolls to you from like across the restaurant. So
I
it's
know.
kind of like that.
That's fun. I was more imagining with what Gavin is saying. You know how they're like Japanese restaurants with conveyor belts? It's like that. It's almost
Yeah.
like a rainforest cafe, but there's a river that runs by every table and they just rotate out what condiment is going down the river.
So it's like a Wonka factory style. Like it could just be like a ketchup river.
Exactly. So like if it's ketchup, you want some ketchup, you just dip your fries in the river as it's going by.
I just wouldn't want to be at the end of the river.
What if it's a river of water that moves, but there's little boats on the river and there's different condiments in the boats that go by, and you can like dip your nugget in the boat as it goes by.
You're gonna capsize the boat though. It's gonna be watery condiments.
Yeah, maybe.
And I don't want to take a bread roll from a boat.
Why not?
You'd rather have somebody throw it to your hand from across the room?
I mean, it's a revolving sushi concept, right? But it's little boats.
Yeah.
And it's ketchup.
Oh, there you go. Of course it exists.
Yeah. I mean, it's just revolving sushi, but on a boat. And then, absolutely.
That, but mustard.
I think rolls are the most catchable food that you would have in a restaurant. Somebody threw it at you.
Well, I think for the little tiny river, I think hot dogs would be the perfect food for that.
Mm.
Because it's quite
what way?
skinny. It could be quite a thin river.
Like they
Oh,
just
okay, I
float
see
the
what
hot
you're
dog
saying.
on down to you?
Yeah, like buns going by.
So you'd be okay with a hot dog bun going down the river, but not a roll going down the river?
I would like my bun to be wrapped in foil.
Okay. I assumed it was a wet bread issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would be the worst food to catch at a restaurant?
Oh,
Probably soup.
man.
Yeah, soup would be tough because you couldn't.
Okay.
Mashed potatoes would be tough because it would just go everywhere.
Chili would be a motherfucker.
Chili is yeah.
I don't think you can even do liquids. Like that's too crazy. Like it
Yeah.
has to be solid in some form.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti would be real bad.
tough.
But maybe you could like wrap the spaghetti around a meatball to like kind of
Yeah, like
contain it.
spaghetti ball kind of situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever had meatballs completely yarn balled by spaghetti?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Like a reverse spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah, but it's just like each one is a complete bite of spaghetti,
Yeah.
completely encasing a meatball.
I think it's probably really tough to do it.
Has anybody ever done the opposite and hollowed out a meatball and filled it with spaghetti and then closed it back up?
I feel like that'd be easier.
That would definitely be easier. Because I don't know how
We
you'd
should
make
probably
it
invent that too.
stick with the roll, with the spaghetti. I feel like it would just untangle.
Meatball with spaghetti.
Dude, no way.
Inside. Oh my
Wow,
God!
it exists as well.
Everything's real.
I feel like that's a lazy
Things.
ball of yarn, though. I can see the meatball.
Yeah, I agree. There's also the kind of the other way, I think.
That's similar, but not as good as what I was thinking.
Yeah. I think what you're thinking, Jeff, right around here.
Ah, damn it!
Oh, it's like it's a giant
There's a
meatball
picture of
cake
everything.
with an innard of spaghetti.
It's called inside out spaghetti.
These are all interesting looking gimmicks that I assume are going to be not as good as just a bowl of spaghetti.
No,
Yeah, absolutely.
definitely not.
Mm.
But I do like the idea of a restaurant where when you go in, they give you a baseball glove to catch your food. Everyone's got gloves on.
Food glove. Could the glove be bread so you can eat it after?
Yeah.
Imagine a baseball mitt of
Why not?
bread.
You imagine how gross
Yeah, I
that
like
would
that.
be, though, to eat that bread after you put your hand in it and caught things?
No, it's going to have all the
Gets
flavor of all the
sweaty.
food. No.
Yeah, your hand. Oh, God, it's gross.
It'd be perfect if you still had taste buds on your fingers, though.
There's a bad throw and you catch somebody else's meal, that's just free for you. And they still got to make the meal for the other person. But any food you catch that isn't yours, it's fair game. You just get an additional dish.
I bet a beef Wellington would be good to catch.
Oh, yeah. Anything that's like really
Got some
nicely
heft.
contained with all the
Yeah.
ingredients.
Yeah.
Do you think you could eat your way out of a bread helmet?
Not for me, no.
Yeah.
How thick is the helmet? And are we talking like a Spartan helmet? Or are we talking like a fully encased head helmet?
I like that I say helmet and you immediately go to Spartan.
Well, I'm thinking that's to me the first helmet I think of. Are we talking like an astronaut
What do you mean?
type? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Somebody says helmet. That's the first helmet I think of is the Spartan helmet.
God damn it.
Someone said a
300.
bread helmet? God damn.
Oh, check the YouTube or video version on Patreon for this. Oh my God.
I would argue that what that person is wearing is not a bread helmet, but is actually the start of a Katamari ball that they are just part of.
Yeah. That's like a bread roof. That's more like bread shingles. Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's sort of a bread helmet. Somebody.
that's
Bread all
definitely a
around
bread
the middle.
helmet.
Yeah. No, but you don't think, what's the helmet you think of immediately when somebody says helmet? Oh, interesting.
There you go,
I can see
football.
that.
I think of an army Kevlar helmet.
Yeah,
That
I
makes
was thinking
sense.
more of like a sports helmet.
So you don't even have a helmet in mind. You're coming at me for my Spartan helmet.
But if someone said, quick, put on a helmet, I wouldn't try looking for a Spartan one.
I wouldn't look for one because I don't have one, but that's the first imagery that I think of. All those fancy Zack Snyder shots of people in Spartan helmets.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but a loaf.
Speaking of helmets, Nick's
Yeah.
wearing the mask.
Yeah.
Nick's definitely wearing the mask.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking clear.
We got him! I didn't think we'd ever win this game.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got
He's
you.
got
We got
the
the monkey.
mask
We
on.
got the monkey. We got him.
I can't believe it.
Oh,
I'm so mad right now. I was like 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
5 years.
I texted the group. So 10 minutes into the episode, I think Nick is wearing the mask. Nick, you become a different person with the mask on. You were in monkey mode the whole time.
And
I
it was
feel
and I just kept having to ask you to repeat yourself because you were so far away. And I thought, I never have to do that
Yep.
with Nick. This is weird.
I feel like when I was asking him about the audio things, I originally was on your side, Eric, and then I thought he answered that pretty clearly. But then I thought maybe he's like pushing his mouth to the front of the mask to try and then I figured towards the end, no one would know better than Eric.
Why didn't you just open the mouth and talk normal?
I've been told that that's cheating.
That is cheating.
Yeah.
Oh,
is
okay.
cheating.
Then
He's gotta
that's
work.
great that you didn't do that.
Yeah.
For me,
I can't
it
believe
was the quiet answering, sort of like the way that you sounded far from like the microphone, but way more oohs and yes. Like this, you were in 100% eat mode.
Yeah. Hoisted by my own petard.
Now you're 100% caught.
Now, back when I made my great
That
GTA
picture's so
mistake,
funny.
I am locked in now when we do this podcast. So I didn't immediately notice the Eric text until quite a bit later and me trying to catch up on what happened. And I felt like such a fucking idiot after doing that because there's a point I felt like, and this is a very specific reference, Tom Sandoval in the Traitors, where they set up a way to like catch a traitor and then he just fucks it up by like explaining for them out of it, where Geoff was like, Nick, could you repeat that? And I answered for Nick, and understanding the context of what Geoff was doing at that point, I was like, I ruined it for trying to get more Nick talk.
You're the
in a
Tom
subtle way.
Sandoval of this podcast.
Oh,
That's awesome.
No, I don't put that on me. But it was Tom said I've thought of that in the Traitors, where I just through not being part of the loop. In his case, he's just a fucking idiot, but I didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah, there was a lot of extra like, what if I swapped asses with Nick? Hey, Nick, what was wrong with all that audio?
I do love that there's a whole there's a whole conversation going on throughout the entire podcast of us texting.
Yep.
That Andrew finally caught on to.
Halfway through, though, Gavin's like, I'm not convinced. And it's like, what would convince
so
you, though?
obvious, man.
Like, I felt like it was very obvious.
I got
felt like
deconvinced after he was talking about the audio because I thought, I can hear this pretty well.
it.
There's some effort
Well,
to it.
Nick, we got you. You got
me.
got.
I got. I
That's
can't
it.
believe it.
What does this mean now?
I don't know. I was about to
Oh, I don't
say.
remember. Oh, I have no idea. Oh, I don't know.
We win 2025.
Yes, yeah.
There was a prize for it, I think.
I didn't get a prize ever.
I think the audience
You didn't?
No.
Well, the audience will let us know if there's a prize.
Yeah, if
They remember.
they will know. I just can't believe I didn't think we'd ever win this game.
So we're good till 2026.
Yeah, we don't have to worry. We don't.
restarts.
The watch is ended.
We can all stand down.
Yeah, we can all stand down. Thank God.
Damn.
Eric, that was phenomenal work.
Thank you.
2-1.
It was just I
good
run two companies
hearing.
with this guy. I know when he's in monkey mode, baby.
Also,
Yeah.
hell of a try, Nick. Really
Yeah,
appreciate how
thanks.
bold you were.
Well, I thought you hadn't heard me in it yet.
No,
so
I
maybe
thought you
could
did great.
Sneak it by. Yeah.
Tough stuff, dude. Tough stuff.
Oh, I'm
But-
so disappointed.
It's the way it
Also,
goes.
way to play it off. Had no idea you were on to me.
Yeah. I just getting that text going. I'm like, oh, should we slack? I'm like, they're not going to see it if we're slacking. It had to be a text. And then, man, I just felt like, I'm like, oh, we're on top of this. We got this guy. We got this fucking monkey right here.
We're like Lorenz and Lorenz local lawyers. We're on top of it.
I was so sure that I had you that I was rolling on me the whole time.
Awesome. I knew within 10 minutes. That's just a lot of footage. We decided to wait until the end of the episode.
God, you really got my hopes up.
The thing that surprised me most is that this is the beginning of a text conversation with everyone except Nick. And I thought that would have existed already, but it didn't.
It does.
It doesn't for me, so maybe it's a text conversation without Geoff and Nick.
Nope. It's the four of us, and I have a bunch of texts from.
Well, now Nick's gonna feel left out.
Yeah.
For me, it starts with, I think Nick is wearing the mask.
These are all from like 2024.
When we were working with Nick?
2023. Yeah. I have like a lot of stuff.
What?
It's not a lot. Whatever he's saying is not a lot, Nick. Good Lord.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get trying to not make Nick feel bad. It's not one way or the other. I'm telling you that there's a bunch of texts from this group.
Why can't I see him?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I have.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds fake.
Oh, it
don't
might
have
be
it.
because of Jeff's broken RCS.
right.
It might have been in
The
a different
RCS.
thread for me.
Might be.
Mm.
There's pictures of there's like an iguana jumping and eating a French fry. There's video from like people like I guess me dancing at Jeff's wedding, and yeah, there's like a bunch of stuff.
You just didn't want Nick to know?
Are you talking about me?
Sounds like
The
it.
guy who didn't text those things?
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't want Nick to know about the stuff you guys texted to me. Absolutely.
It was great when Jeff's phone was fucked up because I would text something in one group text and then it would reply in a completely different text. It would be a completely different conversation.
It was crazy.
And I wouldn't get any of it. And we would be making decisions about the company that I didn't know anything about. And then I'd have to figure it out from context clues later when I'm like, did we decide to do that? Oh, fuck.
We just shouldn't talk about work outside of Slack.
It is the work platform.
Is that the slogan?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got dicks in every direction and
Oh.
it's your work platform.
I know why we sometimes talk on a text chain without Nick. It's because we're planning a thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's clearly about you. That's all you can't know.
prank that you were talking about.
Well,
Well, we should probably wrap this one up so that way we can do another. We're doing 2 this week again.
I'm excited.
Just FYI for everyone. So we should probably wrap this one up so we can get into the next one. How do you guys feel about that?
I feel
love
great
it.
about it.
Let's do it.
I just feel great that we can relax now for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
put our feet up and just pure joy, pure easy peasy podcasting now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like shit.
What I love about this game, being the last man in the rotation, is I'm never really playing. It's a game that we either win or lose without me having any impact at all. It's great. I just get to observe even though I'm on the team.
All right. It looks like 2026. We're waiting for Andrew's sort of go, and we'll see if he's on the watch. We'll see how it goes. Very interesting. Very, very interesting.
But you don't have to wait till 2026 to hear us be idiots again, because we'll be doing it next week right here on Regulation Podcast, episode 58. Hope to see or hear you there. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Man.